I'm live. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to my stream. I'm all professional today. Got my tie on. Yeah. Well, the weather is terrible, so the stream may be glitchy. Tis what it is. I'm just going to take it easy today. See what we can get through. And yeah. Good morning, Danda's Junk. Hope your day's going well. I am getting some of this hand stitching just kind of done before the stream started. Let me finish up this little bit of string and then I won't do the boring hand stitching. But what I am doing right now is just tacking down my lining so that it's kind of a little loose on the edges, and I don't like the way it's kind of flapping. The other collar did not have issues with this, but this one, it bothers me. So this is what I'm doing. I'm keeping all the stitching to the underside so it's not visible from the front. The yellow is a good match, so it's not really, yeah. The 45th clown is here. Welcome. Hello. How are you doing? So the question for today is, what is the project, how 3 projects you've started and have no idea next time you're going to work on them? My 3, I have a Little Mermaid seashell top that is sitting right there, my half-scale dress form, and what else is in view? Yeah, but I'm going to do that one. Right. What are your projects that you are not working on currently? Because I was looking at my time frame for this project that I'm working on, this one right here, and I just double checked my dates, and I have till the end of April. The shoot's at the beginning of May, but in my head, I want to be done with this so that I can work on my next project. There'll always be a next project. Schultz Division's here. Hi, everyone, and good evening. Well, good evening to you, Schultz. It's nice and bright and early in the morning. It's a very gray day today. How's the weather in your side of the pond? Yes. I am getting there. I need to trim this. Almost done. I'm just going till this thread is gone, and then I will pick this up later. I like hand stitching in front of the TV. Although I do lose needles, and so that is dangerous to do. Well, pins, not needles. I usually only have one needle with me. For the 5th clown, nice weather here today. My project that I'm not finishing are slippers. Got the pattern, but not beyond. Have ducked down to use many, many software developments. Love it. I've looked into making slippers before. I made shoes before. That is one of projects I can see. That's what I'm working on. I wanted to try and make a pair of ballet slippers out of foam. Anyways. Yes. Okay, that's my third one. The slippers. It's not leather for slippers, but yeah. Anyways. Schultz Division, my boss is currently in New York City on vacation sending pictures. Not envious at all. Well, the nice thing about New York is that you can always be inside somewhere. I don't know. It went from hot to cold to hot to cold, as long as you have a good coat. But yeah, I like my climate. I'm not going to complain. But the weather is pretty poopy today. Dan does junk. I still have some things I want to do with the Gundam. I have greeting card tower holder I have to make. I'm 3D printing some custom little bamboo stool chains. And I've had an unfinished guitar in my closet for 4 years. Yep. Sometimes I let the project just sit there and it's like been like 4 years go by and then I pull it out and it's done. Yeah. Oh, and a Saiyan armor build that's been sitting in the corner that's supposed to be a video with a free pattern. Yeah. That is one of the reasons that the mermaid seashells hasn't happened, because I'm like, this one's like a really cool one that's coming out really well. And technically I've already scanned the pattern in, so I could offer a free pattern if I just film it. But the problem with filming projects is that they take 10 times as long. I'd say twice as long, but it's more like 10 times as long, because I know it takes me about, let's be generous, 20 minutes per pattern piece to pattern it from scratch. And so I know I can sit and get through a basic pattern block in 45 minutes to an hour and get through it. But if I'm live streaming that, it'll take me 3 streams of 2 hours each, or you know what I mean? So yeah, I get it. But Saiyan armor is super fun from my limited experience. Almost to the end. One, lock it in place. Okay. I just have a little bit more to go and then I'll be done with this, but this side I've stitched, this side I haven't yet. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, let me put this back on here. I'm just going to use one pin. For now. See, I really gotta stitch that. This way, girl, thanks. Okay, so my plan for today is to get the big tie done. I have the little tie started. Isn't it cute? Little tie. That's for this one right here. And today I am going to get the big tie for this one here. And it's going to be pink. And I have my pink fabric here. Before I cut it out of fabric, I wanted to steam the fabric because I kept it with this teeny tiny piece. It's easy to iron and press, but with like a large piece, I just want it to like not be wrinkly to start with and kind of go from there. So I pulled out my steamer and moved it. it takes 30 seconds to get it going, so I'm just going to kick that and let the steamer steam. Pointing the steam away from my cardboard backdrop. Okay. Schultz Division's out. Gotta eat. Talk to you later. Well, enjoy your food, Schultz Division. Dan Disjunks. I also have some car parts I need to paint. 45th Clown. Oh, leather headphone ear pads. But that's more lack of talent than corner of shame. That makes sense. Yep. Dan does junk. Very good point. And then there's the ones in my head. The projects in the head. Mm-hmm. Yes. I have about 3 of those too. Well, more than that, but 3 that I could think of. All right. So it's completely high. I'm just going to turn you guys slightly so y'all can see me just getting the steam. You guys can't see the wrinkles as much on camera, but I just don't want to deal with the wrinkles. And I really want to get out the fold lines. Those things are the worst. Hi, Toby. How are you doing? All right, let me flip this around. Don't worry, I'm just live. See these big old crease lines? I need to get those out of there. I have to steam the pink velvet before I start cutting that out, and I kind of let that keep me from that step of the process. Those little things. Oops, I put this on backwards. There we go. See all those little water splatters? They'll dry out. But the wrinkles are gone. Yes. Okay. Nice to know someone who drops things as much as I do. Yes, no, I'm goofy. I'm very much goofy. You guys saw me spill my drink all over the project. 'Tis what it is. All right. Oops. Let me. Abracadabra. No, it's not a magic trick. I just want this laying flat so I don't put wrinkles in it early. This is the tie pattern for today, the giant pink tongue tie. It keeps making me think of the tick. Poor Tongue, he has but one tongue to taste the world. Yes, okay. So this is the piece that I used for, where did I have my blue tie? Well, anyways, this is the piece that I used for the blue tie for the part that folds over. So instead of doing the same thing, I'm going to attach it to my giant tie, cut off the seam allowance, tape it in place so that it's just one piece that folds over, even though I'm cutting out 2 of them. so that I can have that loop. I'm a little bit worried about the weight, but this is pretty darn solid. Like, I think it honestly could hold about a pound. I wouldn't put a pound on it. It would start to crush it. But, you know, when you have one big heavy thing holding in the front that's supported, it's a little worrisome, but I think we're going to be okay. So I'm not going to try to make this super lightweight, but I am going to cut off the seam allowance and tape them together. Wow, that's a big tie. Yes, this is a yard long. It's a yard long tie. So I think it'll be good. 45th clown, I just noticed your tie. Is that holding a needle? Yeah, I have a needle. Seemed like a very good place to put it. I'm like, oh, these things are convenient. I could just stab it. And if I put a little pocket here, can hold my tweezers, and I have my little scissors that I can just stick there too. And now I'm ready to go. But I don't know why you guys don't keep snacks in your ties. I feel like this is a perfect little pouch to hold a candy bar, some jelly beans. Don't listen to me. I don't want to be clinking around, so I'll put these back. I do want this though. Bad Wolf custom airbrushing and decals. No spilling or pokey today, LOL. Yeah, my coffee's across the room. Just not being drunk at the moment. And I can't guarantee that there won't be any stabbing. Okay, so I also need to trim off these weird corners, but let me tape these together. So I know I use like blue painter's tape and whatever tape to do my patterning on camera. It's mostly because I'm using what feels like craft paper, so why not just use funny tape? But when I actually pattern, I get really particular, and I have Scotch tape, the green one specifically. It's the what do they call it? It has a name. Anyways, that is my absolute favorite patterning tape for so many reasons. It's a weird one, but I laugh because I get very particular, but at the same time, I will use painter's tape. There we go. So much better. Now I just added this without the seam allowance. Ever and Edith, if I thought that back in high school, I definitely would have done it. Honestly, when they pat you down, they don't pat down your tie. That's weird, you know? I don't know. I'm always seeing where I can add pockets to things. So my plan today is I'm going to cut this out of the silk first with the seam allowance, and then I'm going to trim off the seam allowance and cut it out of my heavy canvas. So that is my plan. Let me scooch my computer out of the way. Those pattern pieces can go over there. Okay, I have it, so this is my selvage edge. You know, it's a selvage edge because it has all the little pokey holes, and it has the frayed edge. This is my torn edge. It's straight of grain, meaning it is perfectly aligned with that grid, and you can tell because whole pieces of thread come off and not just little bits. So I know that this fabric is square and I want to keep it square. I'm not going to fold it in half because that's just really wasteful for the fabric. But what I am going to do is fold it up ever so slightly. Here, let me just cut my head down. And I am going to measure that this, I'm fuzzy. Don't want my fabric hanging off the edge, so it's a little. Okay. All right. Let's see if this is long enough. Tis not wide enough. And then just kind of double check. We're live. I dropped things. Ugh. It's just my phone. Good thing it has a case on it. Okay. So we're straight. Now let me straighten this guy out. And because this is satin, I think I'm going to use pins instead of my pattern weights. And I normally always choose pattern weights over pins. This is silky and slippery. You can get everything all perfectly lined up and then it goes, and then you're off. It happens to the best of us. You know, if I just put this right here, I don't have to keep turning around. Bad Wolf Custom airbrushing and decals. Phones need parachutes. Oh, yes. I am very grateful that I have a good case, and knock on wood, it survives me. Ah! Okay. So in this project, we've cut a lot of different materials. We've cut card, we've cut velvet, we're cutting satin now. And if you have a pair of scissors that doesn't want to cut velvet, let me show you. Oh my gosh, is it a pain in the butt to try and get through a project because your scissors, they fold it and they don't actually cut it. And then you could get, how many of you guys have like just suffered with scissors that don't want to cut the fabric? It's frustrating. I have really heavy duty chompers right here. These velvet, I could do 2 layers and it just easily cuts it like it's nothing. But then I go to use it on silk and I can't get a straight line. I get those little jagged edges all the way along. So these cannot cut silky, lightweight fabrics. They're great on bulky, heavyweight fabrics. These were once fabric scissors, but they have been used and abused to the point of they are my good crafting scissors, but they're not. They don't cut velvet. They don't cut felt. You know what I mean? A solid pair of titanium scissors. I swear, these have cut the cardboard, they've cut the velvet, and they're what I'm going to use to cut the satin, because going between different materials using different scissors, depending on the material. Then if you can only find one pair of scissors. So these have been my favorite ones on this project. They're stupid. They're just ones that I got from Costco, but they're not going to do that stupid slippery thing. I usually like to cut it off of the main fabric first so I can get the bulk out of the way. And for those of you cutting along, take a deep breath and cut. Ah, stupid fold. It's okay. Okay. That wasn't too terrible. I survived that. Okay. Right sides are already together, so I'm just going to put this to the side for a moment. Cut off the seam allowance, and then we'll revisit that. I'm going to leave my seam allowance here. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm patterning this as I go, figuring it out. This is just kind of the interfacing that's going to give it shape. Thinking of the order of operations. Whether I want to do it the same way as I did it last time, not really. I'm not going to cut off the seam allowance yet. Did that wolf come? custom airbrushing and decals says mine does halo jumps once a week. Mine's really good at gymnastics. It does backflips. Dan Does Junk says, when I have to do something that requires a steady hand, I find it helps to do it when you exhale slowly. Yeah. Inhale and then exhale for the cut. Yeah. No, it makes complete sense. It really does. It's how I get through draw circles steadily. Yeah. Sometimes I do have to remind myself to breathe, but exhaling slowly with a steady hand does help. Bib Bad Wolf custom airbrushing and decals. Wow, a suction cup magnet. I need one. I know, I love this thing. I would have never bought it for myself. This thing is great. I stick it on my sewing machine, so I catch all my magnets of my all my pins from my project directly on my sewing machine. It's so easy, and then I can jump to my serger and back and forth. I like this little thing. It's just a little kitty cat. I want one for my wrist, but I haven't found something that is comfortable that I will use and not just set aside. So I might as well use this if I'm just setting it to the side. But I do want some kind of a wrist one. I just haven't figured out exactly what I want yet. Then I'll make it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tear some fabric. Okay. This has been through the wash. This edge is my frayed edge. Let me see. Let me find a corner. This is a good corner. I'm going to go wider than this rope back here. This is way longer than I need. I'm just going to stop here. I bought this for one project and I still have so much of it left over and I love it. It's just raw cotton. It is low grade cotton, but it's high quality for tarps, for painter's tarps. But it's a great interfacing. I should steam this. But let me make sure that I have a big enough of a piece. I'll just cut it off here. Okay. Throw that in my scrap bin. Oh, hi, Toby. How are you? He's all curled up right here. All right. I'll push these fabrics over here. It's like a magic wand that just makes the wrinkles go away. Steaming can be so peaceful. I used to do it at the costume shop all the time. There we go. Oh, cut my head off a little bit much. It'll work for now. Don't worry, we're just live. I fold this in half and cut it on the fold. So I only do one cut. This isn't going to shift around so much, so I don't need as many pins. Okay. Uno más. You know what? Oh, my Power Force scissors. These things are my favorite. They just go make heavy fabric. The right tools for the job make it so much easier. That means sharp blades and sharp scissors. Bent-handled shears help you keep your fabric flat without having to lift everything up. But it's not the end all be all. Okay. Okay. Now I should be putting right sides together. The satin's right sides together on top of the cotton. The two silky edges together, they just want to slip. But they get stuck from the friction on the cotton on the bottom. So I'm just going to pin it all the way around so everything just stays where it needs to stay. Yeah, gotta line up all my points. Can you guys hear Toby snoring? Because I can. It might be too quiet for you. All right. So my pattern pieces are straight of grain, so they're kind of lining up really nicely, but ties are traditionally sewn on the bias at a 45-degree to the grid for very specific reasons, so that it wraps and ties and it acts more like a bias tape than a belt. But I am definitely doing a cartoon crazy tie and not a real tie. Has anyone attempted to make a real tie? I've made a few in my life. They're not my favorite thing to make, but I've made them. In today's day and age, it's so much easier to just order one off Amazon at this point. But so silky. The velvet, like, it crunches together and it doesn't slide at all, but when you start to sew it, it bends and it gets off. Every fabric has its own little special needs. Not the safe pin, only the dangerous pins over there. You too. Okay. Ouch. That one didn't push through easily. There you go. All right. I need to switch to pink. Am I plugged in? Yes, I am. Okay, pink thread, I just bought a moment ago. Here it is. I believe I have pink thread in my bobbin. Yes, I do. So. Now, unlike the other one where I stopped and ended at the end, I think I'm going to leave my hole around the side over here, a big long opening, so that I can get this all sewn together and hide my stitches. Not hide my stitches, but hide my entry point. Although, because I'm doing this as the flip over way, it might not be happening. I think I'll leave this side open for now. There's a million places you can leave it open, but I think I'm going to leave this little end at here because it is going to fold here. And then I can totally... Let's see what works, if anything. I have a seam ripper. It's not the end of the world. You just do it again. Why is this sounding funny? I don't like that sound. Oh, there it is. Where's my cat? table for the sewing machine that holds my fabric flat up here like this that I think I left that at the media center, but I have one. Why am I suffering? Oh, well. Where is? I think it's at the media center. I guess I'm constantly taking it off and taking this off so I can get into armholes and other tight places. So it's not the end of the world. I ran out of thread on the last little bit. It wouldn't be dramatic if that didn't happen. It ended right here. Ran out of thread here. It's okay. Oh, Austin Lips is here today. Hi, Felicia. How's everyone doing today? And what did I miss so far? What are you sewing today? I am sewing a giant pink tie today. Jolo Humenzo, happy Friday live stream. Thank you. Well, welcome. I'm sorry I butchered your name, Jolo Humenzo. But welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right, let me thread my. Yeah, it's almost done. It's okay. I have to do this anyways. I hated how much time it took to wind bobbins, but I actually enjoy winding bobbins. I think it's fun. I get to play with the spinny part of the sewing machine. Okay, we are rethreaded, bobbins back in place. Let me just do that last little bit. Needle back in. And now we're done. Okay, so let me trim off the excess seam allowance bulk. And before I do, I'm gonna cut to, but not through the stitching, right at these curves. crossed my lips. I woke up at 10 and went back to sleep and woke up at 12 today. That sounds nice. This side. I have applique scissors that would make this way easy, but I don't want to dig for them. So I'm just going to do this. I'm trimming out the excess bulk so that these seams aren't super poofy. Technical term right there, poofy seams. Don't want bulky seams. This is not a natural angle that I want to cut this out at. This kind of reminds me of trimming off the excess dough on a pie crust for some reason. Maybe it's the color, maybe. All right, that side is trimmed. You like my tie there, Wolverine scratch? Yeah. Be men in Navy. Yeah. It's kind of the B group. Because we're cool. Wolverine scratch. Felicia uploading more than Fortnite players on Switch. Because I want to get this dress done. This dress would be done if I didn't live stream it. It really would be. Like, I stretched out how long it takes me to do each part of this process. Like, I can chit chat and talk with friends and get more accomplished than I can when I'm live streaming. But it's fun bringing you guys along for the ride. This project isn't due until the end of April. I wanted to get it done this week, but I'm going to do the skirts next week and just kind of finish it up. I don't want to rush it because I want to do it nicely. But that's kind of where we're at. So yes, I have been doing way more lives than I care to, but I want to get this project done. And I feel guilty working on it without sharing because I'm making all this progress and it's like, wait, rest of the freaking owl? Like, how'd you do that? Well, I just kind of got on, started doing this, and then all of a sudden I moved on to this step and that step, and then it was finished and I forgot to show you. So I'm really trying not to just work ahead and do this without sharing every grueling, grisly detail that's tedious. Like this, trimming away the seam allowance. It makes a big difference. I don't want to do it. I don't like doing it, but it does a big difference. Because then the seams aren't bulky, then it's not pulling funny, then it's laying flatter. Schultz Division's still here. Well, glad you're still here. No, I've not heard of the artist Angkamka. Is that how you say it? She's done an EID collection for Lush, and OMG, it's beautiful. Oh, sounds nice. I like fashion in all its forms. One of my favorite things to do is go to the thrift store and find ugly things and go, somebody thought this was gorgeous. Somebody designed this. Somebody okayed to manufacture this. Somebody bought this off the thing in order to send it to the thrift store. So I love finding these weird, ugly things and then trying them on. And then they're like, this is like my favorite. And people going, oh, that's ugly, but I love it. And I'm like, yes, I know. Ugly, but I love it. It's just, anyways. Almost trimmed all these stupid seams. Yeah, but I haven't done that in forever. I haven't gone thrift store shopping in at least, I'm going to say like at least 2 years. I used to do it every weekend as a hobby. Nothing's ugly on you, Felicia. Blonde wigs, surprisingly. Like the cool blonde wigs. I can't pull them off. I can pull off any other color, but not that cool. Yeah, anyways. But thank you. Hello, Jimen. Oh. Wolverine scratch. Lady Gaga is my everything at the moment. I do. Oh, it's not right there. I did do a collection based on Lady Gaga in college. It was one of my favorites. I had this deer busting out of this asymmetrical dress. Like it was running away. She is definitely an inspiration. I like her unapologetic approach to style. Danda's junk. I learned a good lesson yesterday. Don't live stream when you're not all there. Well, I'm here. I'm trying to be here today. No, I get it. You were kind of out of it on your live stream. I get it. I almost didn't stream today because I was like, oh, it's rainy, it's cold. I could just curl up in bed and not wake up and do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So, okay. Ugly, but I love it. Sounds like my mother. I love it. Okay, I have this really sharp point that I want to keep sharp, and that's going to be too bulky in there. I'm going to trim off this. So I have this really sharp point that I want to be super sharp, and with all this extra stuff in there, it's not going to be sharp. So I am just going to do it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just kind of trim. I don't want to cut too far away from the stitching line because then it'll start fraying, and I'm going to reinforce stitch that so I can have a good strong point. Wolverine scratch is going to be the best Harley Quinn. That was one of the go-to Halloween costumes at the costume shop because we had this comic book version of Harley Quinn costume that was really comfortable. It was like a stretch velvet. I liked that one. Okay, what did I just do? I just reinforced, added a second set of stitches over my stitches right at the point so that if one set fails, there's a backup set. If it's a pain in the butt to rip out, then it's going to be a pain in the butt to just fall out and fray. Anyways, I did choose. Julio Humenzo. You going to make the Lady Gaga fashion from Joker too? I have to look that up. That might be something to look into. I haven't thought about it yet. Wasn't on the radar. But I do love Lady Gaga. Okay. Dangnabbit, I had it. Perfect. Let me try again. Let me try again. I'm really trying to keep this point folded the way I want it folded. And not just smooshed funny. I'm just going to be gentle. I'm just going to be gentle. Gotta smoosh it, smoosh it. There's a million ways to do this wrong. I don't have any sticks. I do, but not any that are just like right here. Wolverine Scratch, what are you doing for Easter? Decorating Easter baskets, decorating Easter eggs, eating deviled eggs. I want to eat ham, but we'll see what we end up having. But that sounds like my general plan. Oh, and I wanted to see the Mario movie. I was going to see if I could do that Saturday or Sunday. I heard it's terrible, but that's never stopped me before. I attempted to watch, what was it? The not Avatar, The Last Airbanger, the M. Night Shyamalan one. I attempted to watch that one several times. I really did. It was very, very bad, but I attempted. So even if it's terrible, I'm going to watch it. We have 2 days for Easter, Felicia. I know. I know. Yeah. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Okay. It is inside out. It is poofy. It needs to get pressed. But this is the tie. Oh, that's going to look good. I like it. Let me make it look better. If you press as you sew, things turn out significantly more professional looking. I could be heating up my iron while I'm doing this. Let me heat up my iron. I unplugged my steamer to plug my iron in. Okay, and my ironing board's all the way over there. I'll go grab that. Oh, you know, there's something missing from the stream. Toby, Bruno, and Spooky. Yeah, they've been hanging out with me all day. They kind of left me. Toby was right there when we started the stream. Okay. I have the heat kind of turned down low on this, so it's not gonna scorch or like super melt or burn my fabric, but that means it's gonna take a little bit longer. Do I want to be on this side or that side? This side. No, these are too stabby. There we go. Now that looks pointy. You guys can't see, but I had to. Oh, let me get my pressing block. That's gonna help so much. Hold on. What is a pressing block? It's a piece of wood. That's what it is. But it's a fancy piece of wood called a clapper. So this is my very technical, special piece of wood. It's been patented as the Taylor clapper. You literally can just use a 2x4 piece section, but I love it. So you know how you don't want to just iron, you kind of just want to press, but it sets when it cools. So you heat up the fibers. These are synthetic, so they're like molten plastic, and you don't want to just sit a hot iron on it. That's what this is for. It helps significantly. Okay, let me push this corner out. It's just patience. You just gotta smoosh it and smoosh it and smoosh it. Austin lips, do not apologize. This might sound weird, but I am 24 and I want a Easter basket for Easter. I want to have fun while being in a wheelchair. How I am too old for that, but I want to have fun anyways. That's bullshit. You're old enough to make your own fun, right? You are a fully functioning grown-up and adult. You can get an Easter basket if you want an Easter basket. And here, let me show you. My plan for Easter is for everybody to make Easter baskets for fun because we can all decorate them differently using the same cardstock that I got from Costco. Traced a dinner plate that I like the size of it for. Tab the edges. Throw on a handle. And everybody gets to decorate their own Easter basket. I figured if I wanted to, I could just slice slices into it and weave stuff in and out. I have fabric, I have scissors, glue, tape, paint, glitter. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a mess. And if they turn out terrible, they just can go in the garbage. They came from the garbage. come from trash, they go to trash. They're filth. No, I'm teasing, but make an Easter basket. Have fun. Do it. Don't apologize. Fill it up with extra candy. Get a whole bag of Reese's chocolate eggs from Costco and put it in your Easter basket and go, oh, so nice for me. I shouldn't have. Well, yeah, I deserve this. Yes. What do cola cubes smell like? Wolverine scratch? Sorry, I'm trying my Lush soap. Smell like cola cubes. I've actually never bought Lush soap. I've been into the store. It's really expensive, but I do like how they smell so delicious. But then they do not taste delicious. Yeah. Dan does joke, I would cut strips from that so I could weave it into a basket. Yeah, no, you could totally just cut strips. You don't even have to cut them all the way through the top. You can, and you can weave scraps of yarn or fabric, foam, twigs in and out of it. There's a million ways to go about it. And then you don't even have to weave. You can just glue something to the outside. Wolverine scratch. My sister is Catholic. I get lectures on Easter instead of chocolate. You can buy your own chocolate. The words of Miley Cyrus. I can buy my own flowers. I can pull my own hand. You can get yourself your own Easter basket. Hi, Toby. Come here. Come hold my hand. Hey, Toby. Want to come be here? People were missing you. They said, where's the doggies? Huh? Dan does junk. I was raised Catholic and still got chocolate. All right, Toby. My hands are going to smell like you if I keep petting you. In fact. I do not like having dirty hands and touching clean fabric. Nope. Yeah. The problem is I have too many ideas, which isn't always a bad thing, but it can be a bit overwhelming. I think I want to try and do paper flowers for my Easter basket. Like when I was going to do them for everybody, I was going to do it differently. But if I was going to make my own Easter basket, I'm going to do a basket of flowers. How am I going to do it? I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. But I think that's what I want. I like flowers. Okay, hands feel a little better. I'm getting stuff done. Sorry, I'm being quiet, but it takes longer to get stuff done when you're live. Just gonna say that. I'm just really focusing on pressing the seam allowance so that it behaves the way I want it to, more than like trying to iron the centers or like iron the tie. I'm just pressing my seams so they're crunchy. It's a little proofy here. It's not that hot of an iron though. Dan does junk. Odin could make a huge egg and be inside it dressed as a huge bunny. Sounds like my last job. I did work at a costume shop, and my favorite bunny was the giant fuchsia one. But Odin and I have gone to the dollar stores to get supplies for projects, and I laugh because we always stop at the giant Easter eggs, the clear ones, because it's like, oh my gosh, that's going to be, I could make this into this project or that project, but at the same time, if they have like the wrong kind of seaming or blah, 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 there's so many reasons why you couldn't use them, but I definitely like to go shopping for aliens, space shields, helmets, and etc. I know, random, but that's what I think of. Not top. It's a giant pink tie. It is a giant pink tie. It's slowly looking nicer and nicer. Taking my time on it for sure. The tie has a sword blade shape, so it could double as a weapon. If it was solid, it'd give new meaning to the term tie fighter. Seriously, why don't you guys keep snacks in your ties? It's like the perfect little pouch pocket. Like, you could hide so many things in there. Smoosh and smoosh and smoosh. Dan was drink. I normally just have pockets, but I'll keep that in mind. Well, your keys, your wallet, but snacks. Like I'm just picturing a little pouch for a Red Bull in the tie. Like right here with a little straw coming out, like one of those crazy straws during your meeting. Oh yeah, keep going. I'm listening. No, seriously. I feel like there's lots of ways you could store things in and on your tie. I feel like it could be more of a utilitarian garment. Not top. You might have some be onto something with that tie storage. Seriously, like I feel like people sneak things in all the time. Why not? Like the tie is an underutilized accessory. Yes, Dan does junk. It's as long as you can fit them Slim Jims in it. Snacks. Well, I guess there's a market for it. I'll just have to make ties with pockets in them. Smoosh and smoosh and smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. question is, do I want to do it to the front or to the back? I think this one I'm going to do to the back because I'm still figuring out the pattern. I'm making this up as I go. Anyways, still needs to get pressed because it's way poofier than I want it to be. See how wide these seams are? I really need to just press and press. I like it. I really do. These are the same shade of pink. Can you tell? Ironing board. Yeah, my ironing board got burnt. That wasn't me, but not tough. You're gonna have to make it your next project. I want to see an urban utility version. It's too many projects. I have too many projects. I really do. Like a cargo tie? Yep. Tactical tie. Tic-tac tie. Tack ties by Felicia. I love this. This is great. Though I think you'd need a breakaway neck piece for safety. Snap in the back and be a zipper tie. So that you get the keep. But then if it gets weighs too much, it'll start falling down if it's a zipper tie. Never mind. But we could do a breakaway tie. That would make sense. Yeah. I'm kind of imagining this utility tie with a utility coat. I know that's too much, but in my head, it's a tactical tie with a tactical kilt. Toby Gomez. There is like a cute dog walking by right now. Yeah. Okay. I now need to stitch this under and stitch this under. Let me press it with it folded under and then press it with it you totally could hide a Swiss Army knife in a tie. You could have a completely tactical tie. What kind of things would you need in your tie though? Now I'm just trying to think of like the most ridiculous things you could stick in a Swiss Army knife tie. A whole tent. No, that's a bit ridiculous. Okay. Corner to corner. Now I'm going to need needle and thread. Sorry to bang the table, you guys. Here's my needle and thread from that tie, but I don't need blue. I need pink. Top knot. Yes, push this idea to the top of the list ideas. Is there a character whose tie doubles as a weapon? I don't know, Danda's junk. It would make sense to me, honestly. I feel like ties are kind of the same liabilities as capes in the vulnerability process, you know? Wonder what special abilities Inspector Gadget's tie had, because he always had ridiculous. His hat could fly, but I don't remember what his tie could do. I'm just starting a needle live. Dan Does Junk says, it makes sense for someone like James Bond. He'd always wears a tie and would be cool to suddenly unsheath a dagger or a small sword from it. Right? Honestly, ladies always stuck swords in their hair, which completely made sense to me. They tried to outlaw giant hairpins. Not top. What is that ironing block? Is it wood? Yes, it is called a tailor clapper, designed to fit your hand. June Taylor Incorporated. So what it is a fancy piece of wood. It has these little grip spots so it's comfortable to hold. And it's a hardwood that if silk fabrics, silk fabrics, this isn't silk, it's a silky synthetic fabric. Synthetic fabrics melt to a molten globs in general. So you can use heat to set in like to really press your seams, but you can also overpress them and you can see the seam allowance underneath it if you've ever, or you can like leave impressions of your iron. So if you turn your iron to a lower heat, right now it's on a lower heat, it's not on anything hot. You can steam it and you can use the weight of the wood to set your creases while the heat cools, setting your flat seam, I guess. But the wood absorbs the moisture and dissipates the heat. So it's a very convenient 2x4 and it's fancy and I like it. My mom got it for me because she knew what it was and she's like, oh, Felicia would use this. And yes, she was right. I would use this. So it's called a clapper because it's hot and you kind of clap your fabric to keep, because when you iron, you're not ironing when you're sewing, you're pressing when you sew. Pressing means you just smoosh it. You don't wiggle it all around. Anyways, it makes a difference. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. Okay. I am just going to do a little hand stitch right here so that it only shows on one side. Lock my stitch in place. Dan Does Junk. I know Wayne Enterprises could make a tie that suddenly becomes solid to be a weapon, as they designed something similar with Batman's cape. Wolverine Scratch Basic Intake taught me that ice picks are dangerous. Pointy objects are pointy, sharp objects are sharp. Yep, makes sense. But I'm just saying adding a pocket for snacks makes a lot of sense for ties. Like with the lack of innovation in men's clothing since the 1900s, once y'all figured out a suit, it didn't really change much from there. I think the peak golden years were the 1940s, in my opinion, in the style and shape. But 50s, 60s, whether the tie went wide or narrow, it was still the same suit. So ties evolved from cravats and other various scarves worn tied around the neck. You would have thought that somebody would have hid a bottle of gin or something in there. Snacks. Are my dogs making your guys' dogs bark? I'm sorry. Toby, Bruno, come here. They're not gonna come. They're too interested in barking. A little bit further. Hi, Toby. Are you done? Come here. High five. Are we safe from the invasion? We are. They got thoroughly barked at. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of multi-purpose, the clapper block seems like it could offer storage inside, but then you'd hollow it out, and the weight is part of the clapper that I appreciate. But yes. Okay, let me just knot this off. Okay, now I have a tie with the loop that I can slide through and tie up here. Now for the necktie part of the necktie, this part right here, I don't know if I want to take it all the way around the collar of these shirts, but I'm thinking of wrapping it to the armpit. It would go up to here. And then I would, yeah, I think I'm going to attach it on the inside of the armpits. Inside of the armpits, the top. Yeah, right here. So that it can. Yeah. If I attach it at one end, like actually stitch it in place so I can slide it on, put it where it needs to be, I can hook and eye it or snap it or Velcro it on the other side so you can get in and out, because I did do my closures. Hi, Bruno, come on up. At the front, at the center front seam. So I have to still be able to get in and out at that center front seam. Bruno! Hi. Am I taking too long? Oh, I'm almost done, so you can calm down. Austin Lips, I told my mom about your 3 animals, and she said that's cool. See, Toby, Bruno, you're cool. You're cool. Danda's Junk, the clapper. Now I have that infomercial in my head. Clap on, clap off. Yep. This was pre-clapper. Yeah. This one's an old one. I think so. Thank you, Austin Lips. I'm glad you like that tie. I want to press it a little more. It's still a little floofy, but I'm like being gentle about pressing it because I don't want to melt it, and I don't want to have to start all over because I don't like the ironed in marks. So I can always gently press it and take forever, but I can't singe my fabric Yeah. Okay. Today is rainy. It's kind of a slow day. This project isn't due until the end of the month. Granted, I'm not going to be dragging it out. I just probably going to work on the skirt next week. I want to do closures in the skirt next week. Skirts. Skirt. This one we didn't really discuss which skirt. It was more the top, but I have a couple ideas in mind for skirts. So I may do a skirt for it. It's not 100% necessary. And this one, I went to go get more cardboard from Costco so that I could just kind of recheck some of my circle maths and see if I could do a little bit better of a job. And somebody rated the cardboard before I even got there. There's all the paper towels were out and there wasn't any cardboard to be seen. Somebody had gone through and took them all. So I went through and I found like what I could, but I'm like, dadgubbit, my secret's out. But I'm glad if people are using it to craft. I'm really glad that it's getting used and not ending up just in the junk pile. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here today. And I won't be live again until next week, either Monday or Tuesday, probably leaning towards Tuesday. So if you are subscribed and have the notifications on, I'll give you kind of a heads up. Also, I posted I'm going to go live on Odin's private Discord. Yeah, so let me see what you guys are saying. Bruno, it just hit me that you have a big dog and a little dog. Like two stupid dogs. I love that show. I think the big dog's name is actually John. Not top for my dress pants. I iron with a towel over my pants to avoid shining the fabric. Yes, that's called, the technical term for that is a pressing cloth, and it is. It makes a lot of sense, and it does protect your clothes from those. Shine. The fabric shines because you're melting it. You're just making a clean, shiny surface. Thank you, 45th Clown. Have a lovely rest of your day too. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your holidays. Make your Easter baskets. Have fun doing it. Oh, Bernie Davis, morning. I'm just about to end the stream. This stream has been a tad early for me, but I do try to stop by just to check in on everyone. Well, thank you for being here just in time for me to say my goodbyes. Enjoy your Easter. Thank you for all the support on this channel. Thank you for all the likes, the subscribes, and feel free to comment on anything you like or ideas you have. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week, either Monday or Tuesday. I haven't decided yet. All right, bye.